Yo, what's going on YouTube? 6'5" Rider here. Today we're taking out the Indian, the FTR, because the 6'5" Glide is actually out of commission for a little bit, nothing serious. I just took out the kickstand because I'm gonna go ahead and install the kickstand extension. This is the My Machinist piece, really solid piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and install it because the bike leans way too far with the new upgraded suspension. I'll definitely be giving you guys an update on that once I do it. Let's get on the FTR and head out. Funny, I don't think I've actually done any videos on the FTR since that first video, the release video. Dogs always be going crazy, man. I don't know why this trash is in the middle of the street, but I'm gonna try it. Take care of it. This is my neighborhood. Yeah, so like I was saying, can't believe that I actually haven't done any videos on the FTR ever since that first release video, and that's really surprising because I actually already put 500 miles on this thing. I actually just had the 500 miles service this past weekend, which is actually the 500 mile break-in service basically on the FTR. It's funny, like I looked at the owner's manual, service manual, whatever, and it says the next service should be at 10,000 miles, which is pretty crazy and insane to me. So like I'm not gonna service it for 9,500 miles? I don't know. But then I asked, when I was at the shop, I asked the guy and he's like, oh no, you gotta bring it back at 5,000 miles. So I was like, that's weird. Why 5,000? When the manual says 10,000. I don't know. If any of you guys have an idea, let me know. What are we at right now? 578. Okay. I actually did do one video about a month ago on all the planned upgrades for the FTR. But unfortunately, when I got home to process the video or edit it, I found out that my microphone actually wasn't plugged in, which sucks, so it means I lost all that footage. Hate when that happens, don't you? So infuriating. But yeah, man, I did, I made some changes to this bike. We're gonna stop here in a little while in the video and I'm gonna show you what I did to it. And I want to tell you about an unfortunate incident that I had on the bike, which I mentioned a couple of videos ago, in this video right here. Yeah, I dropped the bike, unfortunately. It sucks. It had 315 miles maybe when I dropped it, and it sustained a little bit of damage, not a lot. I was going about maybe 25 miles an hour, which is not terrible, but still, thankfully I was wearing full gear. I had these pants all, which I'll talk about in a future video. I had this armored flannel. These are both from Street and Steel. Links in the description below, and I'll review them in future videos. But I can tell you one thing, they work, because I came out unscathed, thank God, no damage whatsoever. The bike, unfortunately, well, depending on how you look at it, but the mirror got scratched up. My bar kind of bent. I don't think the bar bent. I thought it bent, but it turned out that the fork actually came up a little, so that was pretty annoying. My radiator guard got scratched up and my radiator actually got bent. My handlebar again got scratched, and the handlebar weights got scratched up, which sucked. Oh shit, I was supposed to turn here. That's okay, I'll continue riding for a bit. Oh, what is that? Some weird looking Cadillac. Looks pretty cool. Cadillac Lyric. Ah, I like it. Looks electric, I think. Anyway, yeah, so wait, I was here, got all scratched up. And oh, and when the forks kind of got messed up a little bit, the bike was totally out of alignment. So I was about, I don't know, 30-45 minutes from home, and I had to ride it kind of like this, you know, with one hand there, one hand here, getting on the Florida Turnpike and shit. So that sucked. But other than that, thank God, you know, no other damage whatsoever, neither on the bike nor on myself. I got a sprained ankle because when I hit the ground, the bike kind of fell on top of my leg, and I got sprained. I'm gonna bust a Yui here because actually that's President's Day, and I am heading out to get some brunch in honor of the man himself, Mr. GW. Mr. GW, Mr. G-Dubs, the father of our country. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some pancakes in honor of President George Washington. Happy birthday, Mr. President. So the way it happened was, you know, 100% my fault. It was an impulsive decision. You know, it was a huge learning experience for me because ever since then, every time I get impulsive thoughts to do something, I just think back about that day and I don't end up doing it. If that makes any sense at all, because like I can be impulsive sometimes in my decisions, and that's what happened that day. So I was coming into a national wild reserve type of area where I wanted to just, you know, have a nice ride and then go park and sit in nature for a while and kind of enjoy it. So I entered, there was like a speed bump and there's grass like this. So impulsivity kicked in and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go on top of the bump, you know, like let's imagine it's like right over there, so I'm gonna go over here to pass the speed bump and to get on the grass because, you know, I got knobby tires and this is a scrambler technically. One thing I didn't take into consideration, what is that, was the fact that it had been raining for the past like 3 or 4 days, so the ground was like completely wet and the grass was all like wet and muddy and stuff. And you know, I don't have experience really riding off-road or riding on grass or whatever, and I was going about 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, and when that thought kicked in, I decided to go ahead and get on the grass instead of taking the speed bump like a man. Unfortunately that day the impulsive thoughts won. I got on the grass and literally as soon as my front wheel hit the grass, I lost traction and the bike kind of just slid out from right under me and I low-sided it. It landed halfway on the grass, thankfully, like the bottom side of the bike on the grass, but the top side of the bike actually landed right on the cement, so like right on the street. I am really happy to have been wearing gear that day because the gear definitely saved me from road rash, saved me from whatever could have been worse, you know, because when the bike slid and fell, my left leg kind of got stuck under the bike and I kind of went rolling down. It was a scary moment. I've been riding for about 12 years now, and that was my first crash. Hopefully the only crash too. And like I didn't even have time to think or react, to be honest, when it happened. Like within the blink of an eye, man. That was the scary part about it. Since I'm parking on the sidewalk, I'll go ahead and put my fork lock on. it wasn't fun. I mean, we're gonna stop by and I'm gonna show you some more parts of the damage, but I don't know if you can see over here, this is the one thing I haven't really changed. You'll see this right here, and then I don't know, probably can't see it, but this is where the radiator bent a little bit, and then my clutch lever got all scratched up. I haven't changed this one. I switched out the bars already, switched out the mirrors to these bar end mirrors, which look better. This is where the wheel weight kind of got scratched up. This was on the other side, it was over here. So yeah, overall it wasn't bad. Unfortunately, when it happened, I didn't have the engine guards yet, but ever since then I put them. In retrospective, kind of thinking about it, I wish I had it, because probably wouldn't have gotten that damage. But oh well. Anyway, I'm gonna stop at First Watch. I'm gonna grab a pancake in honor of our president, our founder of our country, of course, and I'll get back to you guys and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, later.
12 seconds later.
All right, so that was a good ass meal. Thank you, First Watch. Never disappoints. This is why I love the motorcycle community. I was sitting outdoors and I was just eating, and this guy came up to me from behind me and he's like, I was looking for who has a helmet. Like, is that your Indian out there? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh man, that's such a sick bike. And just like that, you know, like, started having a conversation. He also rides a Kawasaki Vulcan, a bobber, and just like that, you know, he followed me on Instagram, I followed him, and we're like, yeah, next time we go out for a ride, let me know, and you know, hope to see him again soon. There he is. You too. We'll see you soon, yeah? Alright, bro. Funny, that was him. Yeah, just like that. What I freaking love about the motorcycle community. You can just spark up a conversation with somebody and it wouldn't be weird, and all of a sudden, you'd be friends. Alright, so here's what I've done to the bike so far. As you can tell, the back, I did that whole tail tidy kit from New Rage Cycles. You'll see the license plate sits right under the seat, whereas before it had that little thing that came out here. And I hated that thing. It made the bike hard to get around in the garage, and it just overall looked ugly. The other thing was the engine guard right here, frame mounted engine guard, and then finally the bar end mirrors. Everything else is still stock on the bike. I was able to secure a clutch lever, a replacement clutch for the lever, from some dude on the Facebook group, so shout out to him, thank you for that. And I just need to have some time to install it. I do have some additional upgrades in mind, you know, especially now that I'm done with the break-in service. I want to do an exhaust next. That's my main goal, is to make the bike sound a little bit better. So that would be cool. I'm thinking either one of two choices. SL55, baby, that's so nice. I'm thinking one of two choices. It's either gonna be SNS slip-ons, because not sure if you're aware, but on the 2022 model, the catalytic converter is now welded on rather than just being clamped on and being able to just switch it out. So previously what people used to do, they would buy the SNS slip-on and they'd just buy a link pipe and hook it up straight to the stock headers. So you got stock headers, link pipe, and then SNS slip-on. Now you can't do that unless you go and cut the weld, but even then you have to reshape the header because it's kind of oval rather than round to be able to fit a link pipe on it. So it's such a mission. So it's either I'm gonna do a SNS slip-on just to get that a nice deep sound, or my other choice, just depending on if I want to be spending money or not, is to go and do a full-on toast exhaust, which supposedly is the best option for these bikes. And I hear it sounds freaking mean. Man, this bike is just too much fun. But yeah, regardless of which exhaust option I'm gonna go with, I'm probably also gonna tune the bike. There's obviously, you know, the best tune on these Indians. on the market is the Lloyd's tune, which I had no idea about until bought my FTR. I had no idea what a Lloyd's tune was, but apparently it's a big thing in the Indian world. So you can do a Lloyd's tune. My local dealership, actually in Fort Lauderdale, are certified to do a Lloyd's tune, so I wouldn't have to send out my ECM or anything, which is pretty cool, saved me some time. But it's like $675 is what the guy said. So that's option number one. Option number two, which is obviously the cheaper route, is to buy a tuner straight from Fuel Moto. It's to buy like a Power Vision 3 or a Power Vision 4 and have them put a map on it basically and tune it that way. Obviously the Lloyd's tune is better, but what I'm thinking is if I go the toast route, then I'm gonna go with the Lloyd's tune. If I go with the SNS slip-on route, which I can pick one up from eBay for like 400 bucks versus the toast being 1600 bucks or something. Yeah, if I do the toast option, I'm definitely gonna go with the Lloyd's tune because might as well use it till its full extent. If I do the SNS slip-ons, I'll probably most likely stick with a can tune from Power Vision. That's my next, immediate next upgrade on this. But the other thing is tires, and I'll tell you why here in a second once I park. The other upgrade that I'm gonna do is tires because I can't stand these knobbies. I barely do any off-road riding. We learned that pretty quickly when I crashed my bike. But I don't like these tires, especially on the highway here in Florida. Once you get to like 85 miles an hour and the bike friggin' starts shaking and vibrating all kinds of ways. So yeah, I don't like it. So I'm gonna change it out to more street oriented tires, because that's gonna be a much better experience for me. I heard there's a couple of options. There's not a lot of options out there, but there's a few, and the only reason is because of the 18-19 size, whereas if you do 17-17 you have way more options. But I need to buy new wheels to convert it to a 17-17, so I'm not gonna do that. I have a couple of guys on the Facebook groups. They recommended a few options, so I don't know, we'll take a look. So here's what I was telling you about the welded cat. You'll see it right over there. Can't take it off anymore. Anyway, this was a quick video about next upgrades on the bike. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.